everybody, we are planting sweet corn today. Woohoo! And really excited because we've upgraded our method to make sure that we have the rows lined up for our Cub Farmall vintage tractor to do the tilling for us this year. So we took this cute little guy, took him through the field to make sure we had our rows lined up correct here. We're planting on 4 rows of sweet corn. The rows they kind of vary in length, but they're approximately anywhere from about 85 to over 100 feet long. So it's a good amount of corn and we're pretty excited. So once we ran the Farmall tillers through, we then took the tiller on the 1025R over there and dragged it through, and we very carefully measured here to try to get the right exact width. So this here is a row that I will be planting, then this one, that one, and right here you can see we've got the little seeds in the ground. This is the very last one. So we've got 4 in total, and after some meticulous measurement we figured out 38 inches is the perfect golden width here. So from here to there, and there, 38-inch rows will be the ticket so that we can take the Farmall Cub through and fit the tires and the tines through, but also get our rows nice and uniform. We've got our sweet corn from Harris Seeds, the Montauk raw, untreated, right into our handy dandy seeder. We're going through that fast. Sheesh. So I got my standing planter all ready to go. Put the stuff in the ground. A few days later here, and progress. We have our fence posts up and we're feeling really good about the approach here. So we have a permanent fence line here. This fence line that you see here is permanent, and that will be inside the garden, so you can see deliberately there's a gap because that's an interior line of fence. And that is going to be for our sugar snap peas. So we just planted some of the starters last night. You could ignore that one there because that one I ended up severing the root off from the plant accidentally when I pulled it out of the pot. So I was like, well, that one's gone. But these ones are a little stressed because they were just put in the ground last night, but they look great. These are the winter sows I put in containers outside in February. So we're just seeing how they fare here, and then if they do well and we don't have issues with any critters getting to them, then we will be planting the rest of those things in the ground here this weekend. Just feeling really good about this section. We haven't managed garden this way before. It just feels really methodical and smart as we keep learning every season. So this line is permanent on the outside, and then the front here and then in the back, we will be able to roll them back as we see fit to then take the Cub tractor through to do the cultivating as things start to come out of the ground, and then there's weed pressure to keep this nice and clean. So it's just going to feel really cool to have straight rows, nice and clean. We can pass right through, not running into any obstacles, and keeping it relatively clean without a ton of manual labor. This messy outside ring of fence is simply just a temporary to keep the deer out, keep a lot of the critters out before we get to planting the rest of the field. So that'll come later. And Cute Man's out here just re-tussling up the ground so we keep it nice and aerated. We're supposed to get rain soon, so it's good to make sure that we keep it loose and pliable before we get to the stage of planting. We're going to be putting pumpkins and squash, and eventually some different flowers out here. So we're trying to keep it very weed free and ready to go for once we get to those steps. Ran out of the Montauk sweet corn, and then this 4th last row in the last half we actually put in a different seed. We just got this Johnny's hybrid bicolor Synergistic Sweetness F1. And this is also supposed to be an earlier sweet corn. One of the things that I'm really liking about this method that we're taking is that we don't have to do everything at once. We can take our time, put out the seeds and the seedlings that are most early in the season, and enjoy the process as we go, because the pumpkins and the squash, for example, they won't go into the ground until probably late May at the soonest. And while that's not far away, it's still not right now. So it makes it more enjoyable to take our time and do each step as we see fit. Enjoy the process as we go. Give a quick look at the tunnel garden. It just looks like such a mess. Oh, but it is functioning, and so we're about functioning at form right now. So seedlings are coming up terrific. Look at that. They look so good. A lot of consistency. And now this seed, whatever this is, I don't even remember. That's the fun part. It's like, oh wait, I didn't label this. There's a lot of consistency in what I'm seeing in the holes, same kind of shape. So that is looking good. And then whatever these are, same thing, nice and consistent. We've got our ranunculus. Jury's out on if I think these are doing well or if I'm going to keep trying to grow these. I don't know, I think they're fussy with me. I think they want more dry conditions and dry soil, and I'm not going to be that fancy with them, so I don't know. I hope they bloom. And then we've got our stock flowers here. Not too bad. Honestly, having grown them last season, I'm starting to get more familiar. These are looking pretty darn good, for me anyway. I'm sure there are gardeners out there that are way better at this than I am, but I'll take it. I think they look okay. And then we have our Lisianthus. They are looking good. I have been fertilizing everybody. They're continuing to grow. I can tell they've grown a little bit since I got the plugs. Let's head over to the other side. Lisianthus that I grew myself as a point of pride. So some of them have died, like these ones are gone, but these ones are still here. They're still microscopic compared to the ones I bought there. Just makes me laugh. But these ones are still alive. Those two there are still alive. Still alive, holding on. So just gonna see what happens. I'm just thrilled they're still with me. I hope at least some of these ones I grew from seed make it all the way through the season. That would just be awesome. And then I know what I'll do different next year as I continue to get a feel for it. As I get snapdragons to the great growth stage inside the house, I'll be then planting them out down here then, where we still got open holes.